fan service. Do you do you think fan service in its entirety, with shows like Fairy Tale, High School DxD, or even just a regular casual show when they add unnecessary fan service like Fire Force, one of the notorious ones, do you think shows like that make anime fans not want to be a part of the community, or it makes people view them as degenerates and they want to distance themselves from the community because of that? Do you think it has a negative image on the overall feel of being an anime fan?
It can. It can, depending on how that, that sector of the anime fandom is, I guess, celebrating that type of content, right? I think there's, listen, at the end of the day, like, it is what it is, like sex sells, right?
Yeah.
And we understand that, right? And that's going to happen in all forms of media, whether it's movies, TV, cartoon, whatever it is. But I think there's a right way to go about celebrating it, and then there's a wrong way to go about celebrating it. And I think that those lines are often blurred, even at conventions. You see, certain people doing certain things that are definitely distasteful and weird. And I feel like because a lot of anime fans, grew up kind of being social outcasts for the most part, they feel more emboldened to do it in certain areas where you should not be doing those type of things. I've heard some stories that have happened to people that I know and stuff like that. So it's definitely fan service is a thing where it's like, even if it's in anime, it's cool. Like I don't really have an issue with it as long as it's not really messing with the story, right? And it's not taken away from the story. There's nothing saying like, oh, I think Robin's a hot character. Like that's cool. Like that's fine. We get that. But it's like, then like there's levels to it, right? Then there's some people that take it a little too far for most people. You know what I mean? And that's where it kind of gets the lines get blurred a little bit. So I think it kind of really depends on how it's being celebrated, right? There's people that know how to celebrate it and still be respectful, still be grown about it, and then there's other people that just take it to the whole other level. And that's the only issue I see with fan service is you can open those gates for bad apples to come in. You know what I mean?
There's a bigger issue too when it comes to, I'm sure if I showed you an empty jar, you would know immediately what I'm talking about. Like you look at you know what I'm talking about too. Because there's people that go that far where it becomes like this jar is now a cultural icon. How? Or like, oh, we sell body pillows at the anime convention, or where I'll go somewhere and I'll be like, because let's use one of my favorite communities. I love the LGBTQ community. It's my favorite community to be a part of. And because of the repression of how they are treated, sexually, they now show it at their pride parades where they have people in like tassels and like dick flavored lollipops, stuff like that. But with the anime community, it's not like repressed. It's not like they're sexually repressed at all. It's like when they were younger, they may have been bullied or something like that. But with anime, you get a body pillow. You get like, I went to Colossal Con last year, and there was a Stoufo flavored lube just out, and I'm like, what the fuck is a Stoufo flavored? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I have no idea. Yeah, you're telling me something I didn't even. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time hearing. You know what I mean? But that's the reality of it, though, right? It's like it's exactly as you're saying. Like certain people, like it's just they've never really. They don't know how to interact really socially. And knowing that, okay, there's certain things that can do, certain things that you can't do, certain things you need to dial back on. Like, just learn how to be respectful, respect everybody's space. And I feel like fan service kind of gives people a little too much room to wild out. And
it does because it comes into a deeper confine of like addiction with promiscuity. When you have this addiction to it, because when you get a little bit of something, you tend to think you can get more of that thing. It's like a phenomenon I witness a lot is when you see this like really socially reclused guy, and he ends up getting a really beautiful girl. Then he talks to you, and he's like, I can get anybody I want now. Okay, chill out. Be happy with the girl you have. Because before you were in inboxes getting rejected by twos. So chill out. You lucked out. Use all luck you had in your life here. Please chill out for a moment. And then he'll be like, well, I was watching this doujinshi, and then I ended up saying like, okay, all right, that's fine. And then she had a phallic member. All right, chill out. Like you've gone a bit too far. Now you're talking about stuff that I don't want to talk about. They started with the tentacle stuff. Now you're talking about with phallic girls with phallic member. You're going a bit too much. You're going a bit too much. I think.
Man, look, man, I'm always a person where I'm like, listen, whatever people are doing in the comfort of their own home and all that stuff, listen, that's your business.
Yeah,
But it's just like be
I'm
respectful of like,
I'm fine with you doing it in your home, right?
yeah, yeah,
But
do
when
your
I see
thing.
the
I was like,
Ahegao hoodies at a convention, or when I
yeah,
see
that's
like people like dressing up as like a character from a doujinshi, like right, like oh, you know who this is? No, I don't know who this is because you're basically naked. Like, what are you doing? And they'll be like, oh, this character in this one, all the girls are have no rights. I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks for letting me know that. I appreciate
yeah,
the information. And it'll be like these people that are social recluses that get too deep into the community and begin to not be able to separate reality from what is the fan service that they're watching, and now they think that's
yeah,
the reality.
yeah,
It's scary.
and that's where it gets exactly, and that's where it gets dangerous.